Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWAS. Thanksgiving Day football continues. Already uploaded the NFL video with the 3 NFL games, but we have a college football game as well. Memphis, Tulane. Let's do it.
Welcome to the SWAS. The SWAS. SWAS. Hey, get the SWAS.
All right, like I said, Memphis is on the road for this one. Tulane's laying mostly 13.5 now. It looks like the 14s are gone. It was at 14 yesterday and the day before, but it looks like it's mostly 13.5 now. Total sitting at pretty much 55.5 across the board. Take a look at the pie charts, and according to the data, action seems to be coming in pretty heavily on the Tulane side. Over 65% of the tickets, over 65% of the money. As I always say, take this data with a grain of salt. So let's get into this matchup, and we'll start with some head-to-head history. Tulane's gotten the better of Memphis recently. They're 3-1 straight up in their last 4 matchups, 4-0 against the spread. So if you've been betting Tulane against Memphis, you are turning a profit, but we're not interested in the past. We're interested in this matchup right here. We'll start with the Memphis offense. This is an offense that wants to throw the ball with Seth Hennigan. They're 8th in pace, so they move fast, and they throw the ball a lot. 24th in pass frequency. Here's the problem with that. Actually, there are 2 problems. Number 1, haven't been very efficient this year. 91st in yards per pass attempt, 79th in success rate per dropback. And they're on the road at Tulane here, who's been lights out against the pass. Look at the Tulane numbers against the pass this year. 8th in yards per pass attempt allowed, 5th in success rate per dropback, 16th in effective pass. So at a quick glance, this is looking like a pretty rough matchup for Memphis here offensively. I will say Memphis may have the tools to give this Tulane defense problems, though. This is a Tulane defense that relies on its pass rush in terms of defending the pass. They have a great pass rush. That's how they're able to put up these elite numbers against the pass. They're 38th in pressure rate, 20th in sack rate, 4th in pass rush grade. The thing is, this Memphis offense has had its problems this year, but the offensive line's actually been great in pass protection. 9th in pressure rate allowed, 18th in sack rate allowed, 4th in pass blocking grade. So maybe this Memphis offensive line is able to give Tulane some problems here. Seth Hennigan is one of the least pressured quarterbacks in college football. He's been pressured on just 24.1% of his dropbacks this season, the 139th most pressured quarterback in college football. So like I said, this offensive line has done its job in terms of pass protection. They've been very, very good. Also, Seth Hennigan and this Memphis offense may be getting their shit together a little bit here after a terrible start. Through their first 5 FBS games, they were averaging less than 6 yards per pass attempt, success rate per dropback under 38%. Remember, this is an offense that needs to throw the ball. That's what they're trying to do. They were putting up terrible numbers through their first 5 FBS games, but look at their last 5 FBS games. I mean, not that they're setting the world on fire, but certainly a dramatic improvement here. Over 7.5 yards per pass attempt, 43% success rate per dropback, over 288 passing yards per game. So this Memphis offense definitely trending in the right direction, definitely a little bit better than their full season numbers indicate. They do seem to be playing some better football as of late. And when it comes to the Tulane defense, I mean, it's really tough to get a feel for them because there were 2 games where teams were able to throw the ball on Tulane. Week 2 against Kansas State and Week 9 on the road in North Texas. In those 2 games, they allowed 315 passing yards per game, over 8 yards per attempt. Those 2 teams were able to throw the ball on Tulane. But in their other 9 games, nobody was able to throw the ball on Tulane. Under 5 yards per attempt, under 30% success rate per dropback. So I don't know. It's hard to have faith in the Memphis offense, even though they are playing a little bit better football as of late. This Tulane defense, with the exception of those 2 games, has been so good against the pass. They also run a lot of man coverage, and Seth Hennigan and Memphis have been better throwing the ball against zone. That's kind of razor thin. But look, I'm just not in a position where I want to fade this Tulane pass defense. It's been so good. I know there's a couple games in there, but Memphis is not an offense I really trust right now. Last game of the year, what are they even playing for? Honestly, I don't know. I could see Seth Hennigan running into some problems here, maybe throwing a pick. On the other side of the ball, we got the Tulane offense, and this is a unit that's trying to run the ball. They're 5th in rushing frequency. Honestly, they're extremely efficient when they want to throw the ball as well. Mensa's having an outstanding freshman year here. Look at this offense. 19th in yards per play, 17th in success rate. Rushing numbers look great. Passing numbers extremely efficient, even though they don't drop back to pass a lot. This is an excellent offense, exceeding all of our expectations this year. But we do have to give Memphis a little bit of credit on the defensive side of the ball. As disappointing as their offense has been, and it's been a disappointing year for Memphis offensively, we weren't expecting much from this defense this year. This is usually not a good defensive program. They lost their defensive coordinator before the season. So coming into this year, we were not expecting a ton from Memphis defensively. We were all expecting pretty much another terrible defensive year from Memphis, and they've actually played pretty solid on the defensive side of the ball. 71st in yards per play, 29th in success rate. They've been solid against the run. They've been pretty solid against the pass as well. Strength of schedule's in question for Memphis, but you know what? You could say the same thing about Tulane. Look at Memphis numbers against the run here. On the season, they're allowing 3.8 yards per carry as a team, 39% success rate per rush. This has been a good run defense, like I said, but when you pull up their schedule, it does make a little bit of sense. I mean, what rushing attacks has Memphis seen this year? If you go through the entire list, the only rushing attack that Memphis has seen this entire year was Navy. That was the only rushing attack they've seen this entire season, and Navy absolutely steamrolled them. They put up 56 points, over 10.6 yards per play, over 60% success rate. Look at their rushing numbers. 9.26 yards per carry in the game. 9.26 yards per carry. That's crazy. This Tulane rushing attack has been as good as it gets for a group of 5 program. I mean, 5.34 yards per carry in their last 8 games, over 251 rushing yards per game, over 49% success rate per rush. They've been very efficient on the ground. And like I said, when they want to throw the ball, they can. Mensah's having a great freshman year, over 2,200 yards, 9.6 yards per attempt, 18 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. They don't drop back to pass a ton, but when they do, they're extremely efficient. Now, Memphis defensive line, they've been pretty good at staying at the line of scrimmage. You got to give them that. 11th in line yards, 13th in stuff rate. That could pose a problem for Tulane, but Memphis hasn't had much of a pass rush. 44th in pressure rate, 52nd in sack rate. Tulane's offensive line has been pretty good in pass protection, so Mensah should have time to throw when they do want to throw it. And even if he doesn't, Mensah's been great at escaping pressure and making throws. An A+ yards per attempt when pressured. So it's really tough. Even though this Memphis defense has exceeded our expectations and is better than we expected them to be, I can't see them going on the road to Tulane and making stops against this team that's playing for something, by the way. Tulane's got a shot at being in the college football playoff, probably a good shot if they win their conference, so they need this win. There's absolutely no reason for Tulane to take this game lightly, and also we have to factor in the weather. 17-mile-an-hour winds, a chance of rain. Memphis is a team that wants to throw the ball. Tulane's down to run, so that only favors Tulane. I mean, I think they blow them out personally. I understand if you got a +4 team with Memphis. Seth Hennigan has been playing better football recently. I get it, but I'm not stepping in front of Tulane. I think they win comfortably. So 13.5, I'll probably take that. I don't absolutely love it. But give me Tulane minus 13.5 in this one. Live show, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We are doing a Thanksgiving live stream, so if you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. Let's have ourselves a great weekend. Please remember to bet responsibly. Hit me up in the Discord if you need me.